the Sofa with Nasamo. Today's guest is a former refugee from Syria who's been in Australia since 2015, and he graduated from University of Technology Sydney with a bachelor degree in electrical engineering. Simon Shaheen. Thank you, Simon Shaheen, for being to the show.
Thank you very much, Nasamo, for inviting me to this beautiful show, and I look forward for our conversation.
Thank you, and we are looking forward to share some of your experiences. So let's dive into the questions. The first question is regarding to language barrier. So we understand that that you, when you came to Australia first, you were not able to speak English. How did you manage to communicate and progress with your first year here in Australia, since you came here with your family?
Yes, it's true actually. When I arrived in Australia
Yeah.
in 2015, I had a poor English proficiency,
Yeah.
and that was reflected in my communication.
Mm.
I was not delivering the message clearly and not
Yeah.
communicating efficiently with my medium. And what I did actually might be interesting, but
Yeah.
I started to read more and research new words and different meanings to concepts that I was learning for the first time.
Yeah.
And I also started to, converse and have conversations with not strangers, but rather peers at my university and
Yeah.
workplaces. This latter step had me gain confidence
Yeah. Yeah.
and also improve my conversational skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the third step, what I did was that I used an app called Elevate.
Yeah.
I don't want to promote here, but
Yeah.
it was very good
Yeah.
experience. That it improved my working. My speaking,
Mm-hmm.
listening, writing, and reading skills.
Yeah.
And so, through all of these three steps, I managed to, overcome the barrier of the language
Yeah,
and
yeah.
progress.
Oh, that's really great. Thank you, Simon, for this information. And hopefully, some people
Yeah.
will learn something from your
Yeah.
experience.
Cheers.
You mentioned something about universities and peers and something like that. So, my next following question is regarding to the academic phase of your life.
Sure.
So, since you've been learning and trying to get the language, trying to communicate better with your peers, how does that affect you with your academic life at university, and what the challenges that you face, and how did you overcome those challenges?
Sure. Well, I will reflect on the challenges that I faced
Yeah.
academically. One of the main challenges was, and I've just talked about it, was the language barrier.
Yeah.
So if you were to think about it like this, I was not progressing academically as
Yeah.
compared to my peers, because
Yeah.
I was having these lag times of constantly looking up what the word means or
Yeah.
what the different
Yeah.
concepts were.
Mm.
So this slowed me down.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was having actually a strong foundation built gradually. Anyhow, so one of the first challenges was the language barrier
Yeah.
academically. And then the second one was, first of all, I came from Australia to Australia and from Syria
Yeah.
with no strong academic foundation. So
Yeah.
I studied environment science for 1 or 2 years
Mm.
in Damascus University, but didn't
Yeah.
have engineering skills, or let alone having this kind of flexibility and adaptability with online mode of studying,
Yeah.
especially during the pandemic. So that required a lot of resourcefulness.
Mm.
Having strong technical skills and develop that flexibility.
Yeah.
So the second challenge was mostly around adapting to the educational environment or atmosphere in Australia.
Yeah.
And then the third challenge was how to gain professional experience
Yeah.
in the light of all these competition over the works and opportunities and for job
Yeah.
securing, and also for gaining experience in the industry, not just in general. So I had to undertake a few placements
Yeah.
in those years of studying, and all of this together, put them in perspective, was a bit challenging. So these were the three challenges that I faced mostly academically.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that with us, and for opening and sharing those
Insights,
experiences,
yeah,
insights.
absolutely.
And just to move a little bit about those academic and English period to the the next topic that we're
Yeah.
going to talk about. That,
Sure.
for those who does not know Simon Shaheen, he participated in a project called Refugee Camp in My Neighborhood, which is hosted by Cumberland Council.
Correct.
I guess, yeah.
Yes.
And those so Simon Shaheen was one of the tour guide on that project, and he kind of as a tour guide he has to share some of his experiences while being in a refugee country and fleeing from his country to come to
Yeah.
a new
Australia.
home. Yeah, Australia. So could you tell us a little bit about this project and how was your experience and how did the audience receive your experience?
Sure. Well, that program, the Refugee in My Neighborhood, was an interesting
Yeah.
initiative. There is a place that was a place where they provide us with a platform to talk about the experiences and the
Yeah.
refugee journey of our own. That whole process of resettlement, all these different experiences that we lived in our lives.
Yeah.
We're having a platform to share, and there was audience of different individuals of different backgrounds,
Yeah.
coming from ranging from students and teachers to professionals in workplaces and
Yeah,
to
yeah.
also government representatives.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was an enriching experience and a great platform to engage in. So I'm very grateful to have participated in the program.
Yeah. Yeah.
On top of that, I did actually witness a few emotional even
Yeah.
like moments in the program. So there were times where some tour guides were actually becoming sentimental,
Yeah.
and I've seen the same thing reflected in the audience,
Yeah.
asking for some time off because when the tour guide and the refugee is talking about their traumas, all these kind of horrible experiences that they've underwent and witnessed in their lives, fleeing from their countries
Yeah.
and then coming to Australia. It's just so overwhelming, and people
Yeah.
sometimes can't help but become over sentimental.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyhow, it was very enriching to be in the program, and I'm very grateful to have had that opportunity to speak and share about
Yeah.
my experience and also educate the society about the plight of refugees. As it is, there are about 80 million forcibly displaced people around the world. About 30 million of them are refugees, and
Yeah.
the rest are asylum seekers who all need to be resettled.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a little sad fact, not fun fact, with the current resettlement rate, it
Yeah,
would probably
yeah.
take around 300 years to resettle all these refugees and,
Yeah.
and asylum seekers. So we need to advocate about this topic, to lobby the government and encourage the public to
Yeah.
petition and lobby the government so that they will make actions and resettle them.
Oh, thank you for this information. I'm guessing that's all this fact that you just mentioned there, or thought on that refugee camp neighborhood, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, that's basically why I'm so grateful for participating in the program.
Yeah, and it sounds like you worked with all different age group. That means that you are a great communicator, I'm guessing.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, I actually did improve my communication skills in the process because this was a place or platform where we were engaging in casual but also sometimes formal settings. Different audience require different presentation skills.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and that's really good. Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely.
So, at last, the last question will be regarding to advice. So
Sure.
you came to Australia and you studied here. You overcome all your challenges academically and life, and even participating in some projects that require you to talk to different people with different age groups. What advice would you give to people who are traveling to a different country where the language is not the same language that they speak back home, and even all other refugees from different countries or the new refugees?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, my advice is to the whole audience, and also particularly to the refugees who are being resettled and who are trying to acclimate in Australia and the society, is to improve their language first, So I can't stress this enough, and it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's that having the language improve to the level of communicating efficiently and clearly is paramount. It will help you develop personally, academically, and professionally. And so you need to read more, talk to people, converse, and continue to learn. So have that kind of lifelong learning attitude. And then two, I would really encourage the audience is to socialize, to network professionally and socially. It's very enriching because and especially when people have the connections that really inspire them. So people who have already succeeded in their careers and who have achieved very well in their lives, we can always learn from them if we have them in our network. So it's a great step and advice I would encourage, and you can do that through LinkedIn or in socially, etc. And then the last step the third step I would encourage all the audience to focus on is to look after their mental well-being. ASEX, the actual company, it stands for Anima Sana Incorpore Sano, which means like healthy mind or spirit is in a healthy body. So we need to look after our mental well-being by going to nature, hiking, for instance, walking in the city, walking in beautiful places away from the noise, pursuing sport activities. I personally love running and have been undertaking many activities in running. In fact, I've participated in marathons a few times in the past few years, and playing music. I actually love piano and classical music in particular. And so lots of activities you can adopt, including meditation, yoga, all these different activities you can adopt to improve your mental well-being. So these would be the three advices that I would encourage.
Thank you, Simon, for this advice. And indeed, we need to be physically and mentally healthy to progress with our life choices and with our life in general.
Absolutely.
Thank you for all these thank you for sharing all these experiences with us.
Absolutely.
And hopefully next time when we have you here, we have you to play some of the music to us.
Would love to.
Thank you so much, and thank you all audience for watching this episode. And until next episode, thank you so much. We'll see you soon.